There is not a bad seat in the house at a theater in Murphy.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to find Cody's Caravan with details and a special offer for folks heading out to the theater. Hey, Cody.
Yep.
Oh,
Still trying to
there he
sit
is.
in all
All the
132 seats just to make sure that the view is good from all of them. Okay,
all
I'm
right.
down to this row. All right, let's go talk to Todd. Todd, this place is fantastic. This is fantastic.
It's a great little theater.
You guys are
thanks.
doing it. You're doing it, man.
Yeah, we really are. I mean, right now, I know the place is a little bit in disarray, but it's because we're doing a summer youth education program. The first time since, I think, 2016. We started last year doing it again.
That is very cool. Very cool. Okay, let's start off with the history of this building itself, because I find it kind of fascinating. Because we're right now looking at this beautiful theater, great seating. All the seats are perfect. They're fantastic. Thanks. You put them in. He put them in. But what did this used to be?
So, in 1980, up until 1987, it was sand storage for the highways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the county would basically store all the sand for, snow and whatnot to make the traversing the highways much more reasonable. So, and then in 1987, the community got together. Several people and businesses from all over the county got together and helped the Black Bart Players at the time. They were a community theater troupe that worked out of performed out of the Native Sons Hall. They got together and built the Black Bart Playhouse.
Right.
Yeah, and in 2009, Murphy's Creek Theater became the new custodians of the Black Bart Playhouse from the Black Bart Players.
Okay. Matter of fact, there's a plaque
There
that
is.
talks about the entire community getting together and putting this together, which I think is great. I mean,
I love it. I love it. When I came here and came back to work for Murphy's Creek Theater as an administrator in 2019, I found this in the back dressing room area, and loved it so much I pulled it out into the lobby, and it's been there ever since. And I've been trying to get it. There's a little bit of a piece missing off of it, and I want to get that fixed, and then I want to have it mounted in the lobby so everybody that comes in has a little bit of history of the building.
Yeah, I think that is so cool that everybody gets together and said this is important. This is important to this area.
We're actually putting the Black Bart Playhouse sign that was on the building was taken down so that the building could be repainted, and that was in, I believe, 2017, 2018, before I came back. And it was never put up. And then the former artistic director asked me to put a sign on the building, and I thought, okay, I'll put the Murphy's Creek Theater sign on. But we we gave the sign to a local who I know and used to work with on stage for Murphy's Creek Theater, and he still has the sign. So we are actually going to put the original Black Bart Playhouse sign back on the building.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because it's part of the history of the town and the theater, and I think that's really important.
I think it's important too, man. That is so cool. Okay, we're going to tease this, but they have a very, I would say, a unique pricing system that's coming up for this season, and quite honestly, it's terrifying to me, but you seem to be okay with it. So we'll talk about that coming up. Back to you guys.
I have faith, Cody. I have faith in people and faith in the theater goers that it will come through.
I did indeed. I'm hanging out with the entire full-time staff here at the theater. It's him.
Yeah.
This man wears so many hats. It is incredible, but it's all about the love of the theater.
It is. Thank you so much for coming out here and sharing with me your love for theater. It's really amazing. And us doing this, pay what you can is really kind of unheard of right now. I know that the San Francisco Early Music Society is also has invested in trying it out. And that's a big ploy for them, and probably a bit scarier than it is for us being up here in this little town. But people are able now to come in. We had somebody in the last during the last show. They came in right before we were about to start the show, and they came in and they were very shy, and they came up and said, "We're sorry, we're very embarrassed, but we only have $3." And that really it touches the heartstrings. And of course, my partner was working the box office. She welcomed them in and said, "Yeah, of course, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead." And she got them tickets and sat them in the audience, and and we did the curtain speech, and we went on with the show, and it's such a celebration to see people that otherwise would not be seeing live theater, who have seen it as like a luxury, you know, and the art should be accessible to everyone. So,
I think it is an incredible roll of the dice for you guys, but I mean, you want to make it accessible to everybody, and that's the way to do it, man. And if you have some extra cash, you'll take the cash, right?
Yes, we will take your cash. The arts, I mean, theater all over the globe is suffering right now. I mean, it's audiences, and it's a matter of just societal, practice. You know, people get into habits. People that used to go to theater as a regular habit got out of that habit with the pandemic and whatnot. And then it's just a matter of getting them back into the habit of coming back to the theater. And a lot of them have not. And theaters are really, even Broadway, you know, is really struggling. They're seeing, 20% less people than they did, before COVID. So. Yeah.
This theater to me is magical. It is magical. I mean, once again, it used to be where they held sand.
Yes, for the highway, so that people could drive up to Bear Valley and Dodge Ridge and everything.
But you guys have built, this is really cool. And these are professional actors. I mean, you have some professional people on stage. This is big time stuff.
Yeah, we get people from New York, the East Coast regularly, up from Los Angeles, even Robbie Allen, who's a former artistic director, comes back up. He's going to come and do some classes here. He's regularly producing films and working in films down in Los Angeles, and he's coming up to teach Shakespeare and some other things for the youth program that we have here. We have a lot of professional educators for the summer program for the kids, and also actors in the shows. Yeah, we get them from all over the place.
It is really neat what you guys are doing. If you're in the area, coming up in the next segment, we'll talk about some of the shows that are coming up and a little more about, pay as you can. I just think it's really neat. It's really neat. Back to you guys.
That is great.
Once again, hanging out with all the full-time employees here. All of them.
All in one place. That is a really great story he told, Cody. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Exactly, and I can confirm there is not a bad seat in the house. I have sat in 80% of them, but I gave up because my back was hurting. I was going to sit in all of them, but then I was like, okay, this bit's over. This bit's over.
I think it was your knees.
So we've been hanging out here. We learned that this used to hold sand.
Yes, for the
It
highway.
used to hold sand. They converted it into this theater. The community got together and said it's so important to have theater in our town. So everybody got together and they built this palace. I think it's amazing.
It is.
But I love the fact that you guys are just doing it, man. You're doing it. And these are professional shows that are coming up. Pro-fesh.
Yes. I mean, Murphy's Creek Theater was founded in 1994, and since the very beginning, the original founders, Mark and Terry Wilson and Graham Greene, were determined to make it professional and grow a professional theater company here in the Motherlode, and we've always paid everybody. So it's always been kind of that model. And of course, after Assembly Bill 5 went through, it became much more expensive because we have to hire everybody as an employee and not just as an independent freelance worker. So we can't just pay them a pittance or whatever we can afford from ticket sales. We have to pay them at least a minimum wage equivalent. So everybody that comes through here is like a full-on surviving artist. Yeah. They're not just getting paid. We're doing. They're capable of volunteering their time, but I have yet to encounter anybody that wants to do that.
And he would love it because he's the only full-time dude here. He's doing everything. Like when you call the theater, you get him. When you are going to the box office, a lot of times with the tickets, we get you.
A lot of times.
Building the sets, we get you.
Yeah.
And then, as an added bonus, you're now directing how many shows this year?
I'll be directing 3 of the 4. And we just want to make very clear that the board of directors has really stepped up since reopening the theater in 2021. We've all been fumbling our way through this new landscape and paradigm, and they've really stepped up and we've had some people come in, some very talented people come onto the board, and they've been there to support me. So I'm not alone. I can't do it all by myself. That would be impossible. And I really want to say thank you to the board. Make sure that they feel appreciated.
I think it's really special. I do. I think this is really special that you guys are keeping this going, and you're bringing shows to the people here, and you're doing the thing where if you don't have any money, you can watch the show. If you do have some money, help out. What plays are you really excited about this season?
I'm actually really excited about the next one. It's called The Cake, and it takes place in North Carolina with a woman named Della who has dreams and fantasies of being on a baking show in the United States. It's roughly like the British baking show, and then she gets visited by her goddaughter from New York City, and she wants to bake her a cake for her wedding to her wife. And
Controversy comes.
Controversy.
Yeah.
Just starting conversations, and I love this script in particular because I feel it doesn't paint anyone in a bad light. The characters are relatable on both sides of the fence, as it were. That you might anticipate that it might be offensive to some people, but I really think it's great to just have those conversations.
Well, fantastic. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait for people to see it. Come see a show here. I'm telling you, this is such a special place. Like no other, where you see a play at a place like this. Back to you guys.
So cool.
That's great, Cody. Thank you very much.